Today we're going to talk about syllable stress, which includes two of my favorite things to teach, unstressed syllables and secondary stress. I think you're going to learn something new today, so stick around. So, in English, some syllables are stressed and some syllables are unstressed. And the key is in those stressed syllables, you will hear the vowel very clearly. But in the unstressed syllables, it's almost impossible to tell what the original vowel was because we reduce the vowel in the unstressed syllable to the schwa sound, which is a. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. First, I'm going to say some words where the first syllable is stressed. I want you to listen closely for that vowel sound in the first syllable, and then listen for the second syllable. Notice how it's reduced, how it just sounds like a. Ready? Sofa. Here you can hear that O, so, O. And then the A, it's just a. Sofa, sofa. Private. You hear the you hear the I, right? Private. But then that A is reduced. Private. Elephant. There's a 3-syllable word. Elephant. L, you hear that short E, L. Elephant. Those last 2 syllables are just schwa. Okay, now let's look at some words where the last syllable is stressed. So the first syllable will be unstressed, so it's going to be reduced to the schwa sound. Pay attention to that. And then you're going to hear that full vowel sound in the stressed syllable in that last syllable. Protect, agree, decide, believe. And sometimes the stress is in the middle. So pay attention to these words where you hear an unstressed syllable, and you hear a stressed syllable, and you hear an unstressed syllable. So those unstressed syllables are going to be reduced, and then you're going to really hear that vowel sound in the middle. Pajamas, apartment, computer. All right, now let's talk about secondary stress. Some words have 2 stresses. So there's the stronger stress that's called the primary stress, and then there's the secondary stress, which is lighter. But in both syllables, you will hear that strong, clear vowel sound. So an example is robot, robot. So you can hear the stronger syllable is the first one, robot. But you hear that very clear short O at the end, right? Robot. Now, to compare it so you can hear the difference, that OT in robot, we hear the short O, but let's look at another word with an OT at the end. Listen carefully. Carrot, carrot. So at the end of that word, you just hear the schwa, right? We don't say carrot, we say carrot. And that's because carrot only has 1 stress on the first syllable, whereas robot has the primary stress on the first, secondary on the second. That's why we hear that short O in the second syllable. Another example is radar, radar. You hear the first syllable is the stronger one, that's the primary stress, but then we hear the very clear dar, radar. So that second syllable has a secondary stress. So let's compare it with a very similar word, almost exactly the same, except the second syllable is reduced. It's unstressed, and that would be the word raider. Raider. You hear the strong ray at the beginning, but then it's just der because it's unstressed. Raider. A raider is like an aggressive invader. There's also a football team called the Raiders. I think it's Las Vegas. Anyway, so you can hear the difference between radar and raider. I hope you can. Secondary stresses are also found in our compound nouns. That's when we put 2 words together to form 1 word. And you probably have learned that you do stress the first word in a compound noun, but you also give a secondary stress to the second word because it's important to know that word. It's just the first word is the one that is more descriptive. So we put extra stress on the first word. So for example, we have baseball, laptop, birthday, passport, and homework. So all of those compound nouns, the first word will be the primary stress, and the second word will have a secondary stress. As always, I hope you learned something new. I'm Kim, your American English coach, and I will see you again in the next video.